G'day, this is Mr. Thompson, and this is the second video showing you how to use Inventor to design your CO2 racer. Alright, let's open the block that we did last time. So last time, actually that wasn't it. I'm going to go File, Open, and the file I created was this one here, blank. So open that. Okay, so that's the blank we created last time, which has got the hole in the back. Now we want to start to create the shape. We want to cut away the bits of the blank that we don't need so that we just leave the shape of the CO2 dragster that we want. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go File and Save As. So I'm going to create a new file called Shaped Blank. Yep. So the reason I want to do that is if I stuff this up, if it all goes pear-shaped, then I can go back to my blank file and start again. I don't have to start all the way from the beginning. So it's a good idea whenever you're doing any sort of work on a computer is to do regular save versions with different names so that you can go back to previous versions if you need to. All right, so the way I'm going to start is I'm going to start by drawing a 2D sketch. Actually, first, let me just show you, I've created this sketch. And it's just a rough hand-drawn sketch so that I sort of know what I'm going to try to design. So I want my dragster to look a little bit like that. It'll be a bit fancier than that, but that's my starting point. Okay, so I'm going to start 2D sketch, and I'm going to draw the elevation profile on the side of the blank. So if I click there on that face there, now I need to zoom all so I can see everything, and I'm going to start to draw a sketch here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to zoom out a little bit like that. Okay, good. Just so I've got a little bit more room to move. Now, I need to draw a line. Now, actually before, when we did lines before, we were using this straight line, but you can see there are different types of lines. So if I click down here, we're going to draw a spline, which is a curved line, and we're going to use the interpolation spline, which means our curve line is going to go through the points that we put on the drawing. So I click on that one there, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start. Oh, actually, you know what I've got to do? Before I do that, I want to see where you can see there's the hole, but I want to be able to see that hole. So I'm going to come over to View, Visual Style, and I'm going to change to Shaded with Hidden Edges. So that just means I can see that hole so I can draw around it. Okay, let's continue with our drawing. So I'm going to start, I don't know, maybe here, put a click and release, do another click and release here, another click and release maybe here, another click and release maybe here, and another one, I don't know, maybe about there. And then I'm going to click this tick button or OK, and there's my first attempt at drawing the shape. It's not quite right, that's okay, we can fix it. So what I'm going to do is, actually if I hover over that line, you can see it's got all these little handles. That's what we call a Bezier spline. We're not going to use that. There's an easier way of doing it. So if I hover over that spline and right click, and then I'm going to say Fit Method, and I'm going to use the AutoCAD Fit Method, which is just an easier way of doing things than the standard method. So click on AutoCAD. Now I can easily just drag those points around. So if I want to change the shape of this a little bit, I want to come down here like that. Actually, I want that top section to be flat. You know what? I think I need another point. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to Insert Point, and I'm going to put another point there. Okay, and I can keep adding points if I want, but I don't need any more points. So I'm just going to hit Escape, so that I'm not adding more points, and then I'm just going to drag these points around until I've got the shape that I think I want. Now I don't want to make this too thin, otherwise my dragster is going to be too fragile and it's going to break too easily. So I don't want that. How's that? That's not bad. Okay, I like that. That's pretty good. Let's run with that. Okay, so that's my first curve. Now I've got to put in a couple of other curves. So I'm going to, again, come up to Sketch, and I'll go Spline, and I'll do another spline starting from here and coming down to maybe there and then there. Okay, that's pretty good. Actually, I don't even have to change that. That looks pretty good. If I did change it, I'd change the fit method to AutoCAD because it's just a lot easier to work with that. Let's do one more spline. I want to cut a bit of weight out of here. So I'm just going to go like that, and maybe there. Okay, except this bit here looks a bit thin. So again, I'm going to right click, fit method, standard. So I'm using the AutoCAD fit method, and I'll just muck around with this a little bit until I think I've got it about right. You know what? I think that's pretty good like that. Just adjust that a bit. Okay, I think that's a nice shape. All right, so now I haven't quite finished my sketch. Can you see these lines are yellow and this line's black? That means these yellow lines are actually in my sketch, but these lines here, they're not in my sketch. They're part of the block that's behind the sketch. So I need those lines in my sketch because I need to cut away this section here. So I need to be able to outline that whole section. So what I need to do is I need to use this thing called project geometry. And what project geometry does is it takes the geometry, that is the lines, from an object behind the sketch and actually puts it into the sketch so you can use it. So if I click on that whole shape there and then move away, can you see now though all of those outlines are yellow? So that outline of that blank, they're all part of my sketch now. All right, so finish sketch. There we go. Now I'm going to extrude. So click on extrude. And I'm going to extrude, actually I'll cut away, I want to cut away that bit, and that bit. So let's click on those sections, there. Now you might find that you actually have to zoom in to select those sections. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to select small sections. So, and if you make a mistake, then you just come back up here and you clear the selections and start again. Yeah, so that one, and that one. Now, you've noticed they're going the wrong way, aren't they? We need this to cut, not to join. So you can see that's used a join, not a cut. But okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip. I'm going to say we want to go the other direction. It's smart enough to work out that it needs to cut. So it's flipped and it's cut. And now how far? At the moment, it's only cut 10 millimeters. I need to cut the whole way across, which is 40 millimeters, but an easy way of doing it is if I use this option here, it means cut through everything. So that'll cut through everything. So now when I click OK, there we go. All right, now I've got some, over here if I look at my shape tree, we haven't looked at this yet, that extrusion there, that was my whole block. So I might start to label this so I can see what's going on. So if I click here and then click again, I'm going to call that blank because that's the shape of my blank. Okay, this extrusion here, see if I hover over that, I can see that that's my CO2 cylinder hole. So I'll click on that and I'll call that CO2 cylinder. Just use CYL hole. Yeah, the CO2 cylinder hole is that one there. And if I click on this one here and I name it, I'll just call that the side profile. Side profile. Okay, so now when I come back to edit, and we'll edit these later, when we need to edit these, it's a lot easier if I've named the extrusions. All right, so now I need to do the top. Actually, I'll do it on the bottom. We need to do the shape on the bottom. So I'm gonna just roll over. Here we go, and I'm going to click on the bottom like that. Actually, I won't click on the bottom. I'll just leave it like that so you can see what I'm doing. And I need to put a sketch on the bottom. So start 2D sketch. Click there. Now I only clicked on that part, but I can draw the 2D sketch over that whole area. This one's a bit trickier. Actually, I'm going to zoom all. And then zoom back in. Oh, zoom back in a little bit there. Okay. This one, I need my shape to be perfectly symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by drawing a center line. So I'm going to click on a straight line here and hover over the midpoint there. Click and release. Hover over the midpoint there. Click and release. That's my center line because I need to make this symmetrical. Escape because I'm not drawing a line anymore. Now click on line. I need another spline, so I'm going to do another interpolation spline. And I'm actually just going to start from here. I do want curved edges here, but I'm going to worry about that later. Okay, so I'm just going to start from here and just do a little curve into, I don't know, about, I don't want to make it too thin. So I'll come into about there, and then I'll come out to about there, like that. Okay, and if you can see, if I roll there, you can see, well, actually, you know what? I think I might bring this all the way out to there. So again, if I right click, fit method, AutoCAD, because that's easier, and then just drag that point out to there. Actually, let's have a look at the bottom view of it. Let's escape and have a look at the bottom view of it again. Zoom in. Well, I want it to be there. There we go. How's that? Yeah, that's pretty good. Put it right there. Okay, now I want to mirror this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this option here that says mirror. So mirror, and I'm going to click, first thing I'm going to do, I've got to select two things. I've got to select, when I first open this dialog box, I've got to select the thing that I want to mirror. So I want to reflect that down to here, and the mirror line. So if I click on mirror line and then select the center line that I drew, then when I click apply, can you see it's mirrored, it's mirrored that shape using that center line as the mirror. So I click done there. Okay, now here's a problem here. Can you see I've got a little bit of yellow, but I haven't got yellow around the whole shape. So again, I need to do a project geometry so that that whole shape is in my sketch. So project geometry, and you know what? I think I'm going to have to select a few things. That and that and that and that. Yeah, so all of those lines are now in my geometry. Okay, so finish sketch. And now I'll just roll that over a little bit more and zoom in a little bit more. Now I need to do it. Now I'm ready to cut again. So I'll do an extrusion and select the faces I want to extrude. Okay, I want to extrude that. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's just change it to back that direction and all the way through so I can see what I'm doing. So that one there, I need to extrude. That looks good. Yeah. And then these two here as well. That one there and that one there. Okay, so that's all the shapes that I need to extrude. And they're a cut. They're going back in the opposite direction through everything, and it's a cut. So okay there. Good. Okay, so let's have a look at, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? All right, so again, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to name that. So that, I'm going to call that the top, or actually probably call it the bottom profile, because I drew it on the bottom and then extruded it. Okay, so that's named the extrusion. All right, one more thing I want to do. There's a lot of sharp edges here, so I'm going to fix those sharp edges. I'm going to use fillets to fix those sharp edges. So if I click on fillet, and then I click on an edge, like that, making sure I've got the right edge. Can you see that sort of rounds the corner? But it's used a 2mm fillet. I'd like more than that. What if I go 5mm fillet? I could even go more than that, I think. What if I do 8m fillet? That's pretty nice. 10. Okay, you decide what you want. I'm going to go, that's actually, I like that. 10. Let me just show you something. If I did 8m fillet, then it only did it down to here. And that's okay, because then I could click down here and I could add extra fillets in like that. Yeah. Let me just cancel that and do it again the other way. Or the other way I could do it is I could go, if I had a big enough fillet, so if I had a 10mm fillet, you can see it creates one great big fillet all the way down. You can decide, actually, you know what? I think I liked it the other way, but you know what? I can add another fillet there. Yeah, because I want it to be 10mm all the way down. I like that. And I can do fillet there as well. Okay, so same on the other side. I'm going to put a fillet there, a fillet there, a fillet there. So all of those now. Okay, oh, now I'm looking at that line there. I wonder if this is going to work. Let's click OK. Let's see what happens. Okay, good, that's worked. So that's pretty nice. Now you notice I didn't fillet everything all at once. I find if you put too many fillets into one go, sometimes you get some errors. So I just do it a bit at a time. So what was it? They were the top edge fillets. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to name that top fillets. That'll do. Okay. Let's do the bottom edges now as well. So let's roll him over a little bit. And again, let's fillet. I sort of like this 10mm fillet. Let's see if that works all the way around. 10mm, 10mm, 10mm. I'm not going to, well, no, I'm not going to do that one. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. That one. Okay, so let's go okay. All right, so they're all the bottom fillets. I didn't, this one here, I'm going to leave that one, that edge flat there. Just so I've got a lot of strength for that back wheel. I'm not going to fillet that. All right, so we're almost there. So we'll call those, I don't know, we'll call those bottom fillets. Like that. Okay, and if I ever wanted to edit that, I could double click on those and I could even add some more edges. So let's do that one and that one and then go okay again. So I've just edited that a little bit. So some more fillets there. Now I haven't done the back yet. All right, so I'm going to do, let's see, one more fillet. So fillet there and do that back edge. Okay, that's turned out pretty well. So okay, and double click there, and oh, sorry, not double click. I want to click and then click again, and call that the back fillet. Back fillets. All right, that's a pretty nice shape. Okay, so there we go. Oh, now I haven't done the holes yet, so we still need to do the holes, and for the axles. So let's do that. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch, and I'm going to find the side. Like that, find the side, and I'm going to zoom all. So that face was flat, that's why I chose that one to draw my axles on. So if I click on circle here, and I'm going to put my axles here somewhere. Now my axles need to be 3mm wide, so 3mm, and I'll put another one over here. Oh, look at that, it's got a little guideline that helps me get them the same height. That's pretty handy. So I'll make that 3mm. Now, this is really important. We need to know where to put the axles. There are rules about your axles and where they can be. All right, so I've just looked up the rules here, and it says that you can only have 2 axles. The bottom of the axle hole above the bottom of the dragster needs to be at least 5mm and not more than 10mm. So what I need to do is I need to put these at the right height. So I'm going to click on dimension, and I'm going to click on the center of that hole there and the bottom there, and I need that to be at least 6.5mm, because if the bottom of that hole's got to be at least 5mm above the bottom of the dragster, then this distance here needs to be at least 6.5, because it's a 3mm hole. So at the moment that's 6.9. That's enough. I think I might go a little bit more. What if I go 8? 8, or you know what? I think I can even do, I might even go a bit higher than that. I might go 10. So 10 is the maximum distance that the bottom of the hole to the bottom of the dragster can be. So I could even go to 11.5 if I want, because remember that's the distance from the bottom of the dragster to the center of that hole. So I'm gonna stick with 10. So I'll do the same over here. So from there to the bottom there of the dragster, I need that to be 10mm. Okay. Now they're still purple. Haven't defined them. Haven't fully constrained them yet. Let me just use my little hand to drag this across a little bit so I can see what's going on. Then unclick the hand. Okay. I still need to dimension. I'm going to dimension from the back of the dragster to this point here. Now if I look up the rules, the rear axle hole from rear of dragster has got to be more than 9mm, but no more than 100mm. So at the moment mine's 42. I'm pretty happy with that actually. I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to leave that to at 42. So type 42, make it exactly 42. Good. Okay, now the wheelbase, as according to the rules, the wheelbase has got to be between 105 and 270 millimeters. So again, with dimension there, I'm going to click from the center of that one to the center of that one. That's my wheelbase. The wheelbase, mine is 189. It's got to be between 105 and 270. Yeah, so that works. I'm just going to use a round number. Why don't I do 190? 190. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so finish sketch there. And there we go. Now, I need to put those axle holes in. I need to extrude those, so I'm going to zoom in to that one. Actually, let's go extrude. And I need to select that hole there. Okay, then I'm going to zoom out. And then I'm going to zoom into this hole here. And select that one. And zoom out again. Now I need to extrude them. I need to flip the extrusion so it goes the other direction. Make it a cut. It's already done that automatically. And go all the way through. Okay, now click OK. And there we go. So I think that's pretty much done. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to save that. Should have been saving it all along, like that. And that's the end of this tutorial.